This is Jasmine Singleton, a 45-year-old mother of 3 and a beloved nurse, whose life was brutally taken in the most intimate and heart-wrenching way. In the late hours of October 20th, 2025, Jasmine was shot dead in her own kitchen by her husband, Carlton D. Mack, after he uncovered a devastating truth about their 3 children. The crime itself was horrific, but what makes this tragedy even more gut-wrenching is that it could have been prevented. What began as a quiet evening, one that most families take for granted, quickly descended into a nightmare no one could have imagined. Having spent the day caring for her patients, Jasmine returned home late in the evening, expecting peace and comfort with her children. Instead, she walked into a terrible plan to end her life. At around 11 p.m., police responded to a frantic 911 call from neighbors who reported hearing multiple gunshots coming from Jasmine's home. As they rushed to the scene, something even more chilling occurred. As officers were en route, they witnessed a gold Chevrolet Tahoe speeding away from the residence. Jasmine's husband, Carlton D. Mack, was behind the wheel. But the story that unfolded in the aftermath was far darker and more twisted than anyone could have predicted. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a web of lies, deceit, and violence. To understand the heartbreaking tragedy that befell Jasmine Singleton, we need to go back 20 years. But first, we must look at how Jasmine and Carlton's relationship began. Like many that turn deadly, it started with hope, not violence. Jasmine Singleton was born and raised in Mississippi, a woman whose life revolved around helping others. She was 45 years old at the time of her death.
Come back up, damn. Get it, Chuck. Y'all ain't changing, I'm trying to Malik, you got the green. Good day.
A devoted mother to 3 children. That was until she would be tragically killed in cold blood. Jasmine worked as a phlebotomist at Oak Street Health in Clinton, where she was known for her compassionate nature and ability to make even the most nervous patients feel at ease. Jasmine's colleagues and patients adored her, but it was her family who truly knew the depth of her character. Her family described her as a warm, caring person who always put others before herself.
I have her face in my hands, and I'm sculpting her eyebrows, creating the look that she wants. She was always a sweet, happy, loving, gentle, bright, happy spirit.
Jasmine was also a loving sister, daughter, and friend, with a reputation for kindness and a heart that extended to everyone she met. Everyone who knew her described Jasmine as a great mom. She was the kind of mother who always put her children's needs before her own. Her maternal love was fierce and protective. That powerful, sacrificial love is what would drive her to make the most dangerous decision that would ultimately cost her life. Jasmine had been in a relationship with 42-year-old Carlton D. Mack. In the beginning, Jasmine and Carlton's relationship did not appear different from any other. Friends recalled that Carlton could be charming and attentive, and Jasmine, ever hopeful, believed she had found someone who would stand beside her as a partner and help her raise her children. Little did she know, Carlton would be the biggest mistake of her life. They shared moments of laughter, family outings, and the kind of everyday routines that made life feel stable. For a time, Carlton presented himself as supportive, and Jasmine wanted to believe in the possibility of building a future together. But beneath that surface was abuse Jasmine didn't see coming. Carlton's need for control slowly replaced affection, and what started as minor arguments or possessiveness grew into patterns of intimidation. The warmth Jasmine once thought she had found gave way to fear, and the relationship shifted from companionship to survival. But Jasmine would soon make a courageous decision. After enduring years of abuse, she bravely made the decision to leave him. She wanted to protect her children from the toxic environment, and she took the steps necessary to try to shield them from harm. Jasmine knew staying meant teaching her children that abuse was normal, that fear was acceptable, that violence was love. She knew they were watching, learning, and absorbing every interaction. So, despite the risk, Jasmine ended the relationship. Despite her strength and determination to leave him, Carlton's obsession with control continued to threaten her safety. What Jasmine didn't know was that Carlton wasn't going to let her go. While she was trying to rebuild her life and protect her children, he was planning to make sure she never got that chance. On the evening of October 20th, 2025, Jasmine's life would come to a violent and tragic end. After a day spent caring for patients, Jasmine returned home to her children, expecting the quiet evening that most families take for granted. But the peaceful silence of Cedar Hill Drive was about to be shattered by gunfire. At around 11 p.m., multiple shots would be heard in rapid succession, the kind of sound that makes your heart stop, that sends you reaching for your phone to dial 911. Cedar Hill was a neighborhood where families knew each other. Gunshots were not part of the soundtrack. Witnesses would later reveal that within seconds of the gunshots being fired, a gold Chevrolet Tahoe was seen speeding away from the scene. When Clinton police arrived at Jasmine's home, they would find a heartbreaking scene. They found Jasmine lifeless on the kitchen floor. She had been shot multiple times. But soon, investigators would find something chilling. The locks in the home weren't broken. It hadn't been kicked in. The evidence only told one clear story. Jasmine knew whoever did this. She had either opened the door for him or he had access to her home. It wasn't a random attack. This was personal. Clinton police knew they had to move quickly if they wanted to find Jasmine's killer. The witness descriptions of the gold Chevrolet Tahoe gave them an immediate lead.
Please, thank you. New at noon, a woman is dead and the suspect is on the run after an overnight shooting in Clinton. Now, this man on your screen, that's 42-year-old Carlton Mack, is the ex-boyfriend of the victim, identified as 45-year-old Jasmine Singleton. Around 11 last night, Clinton police were called to a home on Cedar Hill Drive. Police found Singleton dead with several gunshot wounds. Witnesses claim to have seen Mack fleeing the home in a gold Tahoe. That Tahoe was later found abandoned here in Jackson. Mack has multiple prior domestic violence arrests and is currently on the run. If you know where he may be, please contact Clinton police.
Surveillance footage from the area also confirmed what had been reported: a gold Chevrolet Tahoe fleeing the scene moments after the shooting. Just after 11 p.m., vehicle registration records revealed what investigators needed to know. The Tahoe was registered to 42-year-old Carlton D. Mack, Jasmine's ex-boyfriend and her abuser. When officers pulled his background, every red flag imaginable appeared. Carlton wasn't just Jasmine's ex-boyfriend. He was a convicted felon with a long history of violence, including prior assaults and threats against women. During an altercation in the early 2000s, Carlton had stabbed his then-girlfriend's cousin directly in the head. Not a slash, but a penetrating stab that went straight into his skull. The man survived, but barely. The attack left him with permanent disabilities that affect every single aspect of his life. His speech changed, his walk changed, his cognitive abilities were impacted in ways that require him to work harder just to get through each day. He underwent extensive therapy just to regain basic functions most of us take for granted. The trauma didn't just leave physical scars, it fundamentally changed how he moves through the world. For that attempted murder, Carlton D. Mack was sentenced to 25 years in prison. But he would only serve 15 of those 25 years. Now here's where this story takes a chilling turn. Fast forward to 2025. This man, still living with the consequences of Carlton's violence, becomes a patient at Oak Street Health in Clinton, Mississippi. He needed regular blood work, and his phlebotomist, Jasmine Singleton. The two got talking, and that was when the man found out Jasmine was married to the same person who had almost taken his life. He later revealed that he even warned her. He told her to get away from Carlton. But what could he really do? What could anyone do when the warning signs are there, but the danger hasn't happened yet? This man, who had survived Carlton's violence decades earlier, could see history about to repeat itself, and sadly, he was powerless to stop it. Not only that, Carlton had multiple domestic violence arrests. He had violated bond conditions. He had ignored restraining orders. Every risk factor that criminologists associate with intimate partner homicide was present in Carlton's history. Court records revealed a consistent pattern. Each time Carlton was released, he quickly returned to threatening or violent behavior. Judges had issued restraining orders meant to protect women from him, but he disregarded them without hesitation. Probation officers noted repeated violations, and police reports documented escalating aggression. Experts in criminal behavior often warn that offenders with this combination of arrests, bond violations, and restraining order breaches are among the highest risk individuals for committing lethal violence against intimate partners. Carlton's history was not just a series of red flags, it was a roadmap pointing toward tragedy. Carlton had tracked Jasmine down and killed her in her own home. It was no debate he was the prime suspect in Jasmine's murder. An arrest warrant was issued and a manhunt began. Within 48 hours, Carlton Mack, a fugitive, was on the run.
Well, have you seen this man? Clinton police say they are looking for 42-year-old Carlton Mack. He's wanted in connection with the deadly shooting from Monday night. 45-year-old Jasmine Singleton was found shot to death at a home on Cedar Hills Drive. Officials say Carlton is the victim's ex-boyfriend who has prior domestic violence arrests. If you know where he is, please call Clinton Police or Crime Stoppers.
Do you think violent offenders should serve their full sentence? Let me know in the comments. During that time, he posted a cryptic message on Facebook, which many interpreted as a twisted confession. He wrote, "Y'all would never understand, so don't even try. I love all y'all. PM, I love you too, Jasmine. Death had done us apart." The message was disturbing. It was a public declaration of what he had just done, wrapped in language that was both chilling and possessive. The post revealed a man who believed his violent actions were justified, and the way he phrased his message made it clear that he felt he had a claim over Jasmine, even in death. Investigators later learned that Jasmine had been trying to rebuild her life in the weeks leading up to the shooting, focusing on her children, her work, and the hope of a safer future. But Carlton's fixation on her, coupled with his criminal past, made him unwilling to let go. The crime scene evidence, the witness accounts, and his history all pointed to a chilling reality. This was not a crime of passion, but a calculated act meant to silence Jasmine forever. The search for Carlton D. Mack continued relentlessly, with law enforcement agencies across Mississippi on high alert. The clock was ticking, and everyone knew that if he wasn't found soon, the danger he posed could escalate further. But just days after Jasmine's murder, authorities were able to track him down. On October 22, 2025, the U.S. Marshals Service, working in collaboration with local authorities, located Carlton in Bolton, Mississippi, a small town between Jackson and Clinton. Acting on solid intelligence, officers moved in and arrested him without incident. The community, which had been on edge, finally felt a sense of relief. Carlton D. Mack was now behind bars. He was charged with first-degree murder for the killing of Jasmine Singleton and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, given his criminal background and the illegal firearm used in the crime.
A man suspected in the shooting death of his ex-girlfriend is in custody tonight. Clinton police, with help from U.S. Marshals, arrested Carlton Mack in Bolton. He's charged with murder and possession of a weapon by a felon in the shooting death of 45-year-old Jasmine Singleton Monday. Singleton was found dead on the kitchen floor at a home in the 900 block of Cedar Hill Drive. Witnesses said they heard gunshots and saw a gold Chevy Tahoe leaving the scene. Police say surveillance video confirmed that vehicle was owned by Mack. The Clinton Police Department continues to investigate this case.
His arrest brought a degree of closure to Jasmine's grieving family, who had been left to suffer without knowing where he was or if he might harm anyone else. Carlton was taken to the Hinds County Detention Facility, where he remains, awaiting trial. As of October 24, 2025, he's being held without bond pending further legal proceedings. The arrest of Carlton D. Mack was a bittersweet moment for Jasmine's family. While there was a sense of relief knowing that the man who took their loved one's life was behind bars, the pain of her loss was still overwhelming. The Singleton family had lost a daughter, a sister, and a mother.
A voice full of light, silenced in the darkness. Only on 16 WAPT, the Clinton community is remembering a 45-year-old mother of three killed in her home. Jasmine Singleton was found shot Monday night. Her sister is heartbroken, her friends are in shock, and her accused killer is the man she once loved. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here at 10. I'm Megan West.
And I'm Troy Johnson. As police begin to work their case, Jasmine Singleton's loved ones are demanding justice and sending a message to others trapped in the shadows of domestic violence. Speak up before it's too late. In a story you'll only see here on 16 WAPT, our own Brooklyn Joyner spoke with those who knew and loved her. She joins us live in Clinton tonight with what they shared. Brooklyn.
Troy, Megan, Jasmine's friends and family says that she should still be alive today. They said that they will always remember her kind and caring personality. The vibrant spirit of Jasmine Singleton gone too soon, but will always be remembered by those who loved her.
We did the karaoke, and she was the background singer to me.
Her sister, Deandra, is angry about her sister's murder as she shares memories of the 45-year-old's life.
Why would you do that to my sister? My only sister, my oldest sister.
Singleton was found shot to death on her kitchen floor in Clinton Monday night. Less than a day later, her ex-boyfriend, 42-year-old Carl D. Mack, was arrested and charged for her murder.
You know the saying, to death do us part? That's what it was. He was jealous. He didn't want to let her go. So instead of being a man, he was a coward, and he took her away from us.
Deandra said Mack was a violent person, and Singleton broke up with Mack months ago to protect her 3 children.
She spoke up, but it wasn't enough.
Now Singleton's community is cherishing the memories they had with her, including her makeup artist who she had known since high school.
The whole time I have her face in my hands, and I'm sculpting her eyebrows, creating the look that she wants. She was always a sweet, happy, loving, gentle, bright, happy spirit.
Although Singleton lost her life, Deandra said she is proud of her sister for speaking up against domestic violence and encourages others to continue to do the same.
Everyone has to speak up. When you see these red flags, you have to speak up.
At this point, her funeral arrangements have not been planned, but as we get more details on that, we will keep you updated. I'm live at the Clinton Police Department, Brooklyn Joyner, 16 WAPT News.
All right, Brooklyn, thank you. Well, help is available for those in domestic violence situations. The National Domestic Violence Hotline can be reached at the number you see on your screen, 800-799-7233. That is 800-799-SAFE.
Jasmine's 3 children, who she had always put above everything else, now had to grow up without her. Her sister, Deandra Singleton, voiced the grief that so many felt in the wake of Jasmine's death. Standing before the media, Deandra questioned the actions of Carlton in an emotional plea. These words encapsulated the deep anguish of losing someone who had been a vital part of the family's fabric. Deandra's pain was evident, and she wasn't alone in her grief. The entire community of Clinton, Mississippi felt the loss.
Family members and friends of nurse Jasmine Singleton are remembering the 45-year-old's life after she was killed by her ex-boyfriend in Clinton. This week, her 42-year-old ex-boyfriend Carl D. Mack was arrested and charged with her murder. Singleton's sister said that she was a vibrant person who loved helping others, and she said that she was a great sister, friend, daughter, and mother. She leaves behind 3 children. Singleton's family is also encouraging others who are going through domestic violence to always speak up and get help.
The outpouring of support from the community was overwhelming. People who had known Jasmine shared their memories of her, and those who had never met her expressed their outrage and sorrow. But beyond the grief was a collective call for justice. Jasmine's death, as tragic as it was, brought attention to the systemic failures that allowed her killer to walk free, armed and dangerous. Carlton's actions weren't about love or loss, they were about control. It was a cowardly act, an attempt to assert power over someone who had left him. Her call for justice resonated deeply, as she insisted that Carlton Mack didn't deserve any sympathy. Just days after the arrest, Jasmine Singleton's funeral took place. The community gathered to pay their respects and to say goodbye to a woman who had given so much to others. It was a celebration of her life, a tribute to a nurse who had cared for people with kindness and a mother who loved her children unconditionally. But beneath the solemn ceremony was a haunting truth. Jasmine had done everything right to protect herself and her family, yet it wasn't enough. Her family, her friends, and her community came together to mourn her loss. They also came together with a resolve to ensure that her story would not be forgotten. The impact of her death was profound, not just for her loved ones, but for the larger issue of domestic violence and the failures in the system that allowed this tragedy to happen. In the wake of Jasmine's tragic death, her loved ones have come together to support the 3 children she leaves behind. A GoFundMe campaign has been created to help provide for their future needs, covering essentials such as housing, education, and daily living expenses. Jasmine was known for her selflessness and devotion to her family. Now, her community is rallying to ensure that her children are cared for in the same spirit of love and protection that Jasmine embodied. The fundraiser serves not only as a way to ease the financial burden on her family, but also as a tribute to Jasmine's legacy. Every contribution, no matter how small, is a step towards securing stability and hope for the children she fought so hard to protect. As the community continues to process the grief and shock from Jasmine's murder, the question on everyone's lips is, how did a violent felon who had been given a second chance at life end up taking others?
Months ago, they did not give a definitive date. They didn't give us like a date. So months, we're gonna say plural. We're gonna say about 2. It's October. They probably broke up like before the summer. Let's just give her May. Let's just give her May. She used the term jealous. Like somebody said, jealous of me. She broke up with him to protect her children and then got some more meat. Y'all wouldn't be crazy though. Y'all just done got out of something. I did it to protect my kids. I got from around here to protect my kids. And now you dealing with somebody else. You don't give you and your kids time to, I guess, regroup and, get back to spending time together with one another. You will involve another man. Why? Nobody points that out. If he was so violent, that means that the kids was traumatized, because y'all be saying that kids be traumatized when they see stuff that adults be going through. Got it. Okay. Yeah. You ain't give time to decompress. That baby decompress on some meat around here in the doggone street. So listen. So then she was sloppy. And I thought that y'all women like y'all don't be sloppy. I thought that y'all were better cheaters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can like duck off and we don't even much know about it. How the hell he knew about you giving that monkey away? Remember, sister said jealous. Obviously he knew. Obviously she was slacking. Or obviously she probably told him, that's why I got somebody. They be saying stuff like that. Just saying. Decision making, lady. That's really all it come down to. Decision making.
These questions have become central to the conversation surrounding domestic violence and the justice system. Jasmine Singleton's story is a stark reminder of the importance of speaking up against abuse. Jasmine did everything that was asked of her. She left her abuser, reported the threats, and sought help, but the system failed her in ways that cost her life. Deandra's heartbreaking call to action reminds us all that simply speaking up is not enough. Communities, legal systems, and families must take those red flags seriously and provide real support to those in danger. In Jasmine's case, the failure to provide the necessary protection and the failure to take the warning signs seriously led to an irreversible tragedy. Her story needs to be a catalyst for change. By understanding the signs of domestic violence and supporting those who need help, we can work to prevent future tragedies. Jasmine Singleton's memory is a powerful force that will continue to drive the conversation on domestic violence. Her life may have been taken too soon, but her story is one that will inspire others to speak out, get help, and fight for justice. Rest in peace, Jasmine. You deserve so much better. Your story will save lives. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.